Please explain how you carried 7 Claymores, Buku Car-15 rounds, hand grenades, and M79 rounds. I believe you carried it on most missions. Oh, and I forgot your pistol.
Carrying 10 frag grenades apiece, that's 70. With 70 frag grenades, you can do some serious damage. I would put out 7 Claymores, daisy chained. One click, 7 Claymores go off. 10.5 pounds of C4. This guy's crazy. If you shoot at me, I'm gonna shoot back. I really don't like people shooting at me. I carried 50 20-round magazines.
50 20-round magazines.
So I tried to go for softer spots like the temple. If you were tracking me, then I would tell this team, you guys keep going, I'm gonna drop back. Somebody's behind us, I'm gonna drop back here and have a little chat.
One more thing before we get going. So I have a Patreon account, and that's a subscription account. And we've turned that into quite a community. I think we're at 85,000 patrons now. And they're the reason that I get to be here, and that I have this amazing team that I'm surrounded by. And so one of the things that we do is we offer the Patreon community the opportunity to ask each and every guest a question. So this is a question from somebody you might know, John Stryker Meyer. Please explain how you carried 7 Claymores, Buku Car-15 rounds, hand grenades, and M79 rounds. I believe you carried it on most missions. Oh, and I forgot your pistol. How did you carry all that?
After the first mission that I went on, where I carried the normal loadout, I used up so much ammunition in the ambush that we went into. This is not going to work. So once I became the team leader, then instead of carrying 5 frag grenades per person, per team member, I upped it to 10. So what that did was, and I usually went out with 6 or 7 people. So if I had 7 men on the team carrying 10 frag grenades apiece, that's 70. With 70 frag grenades, you can do some serious damage. So I also upped the Claymore to 3 per person. So some people, like the M79 man usually didn't carry a Claymore because he was carrying so many grenades with him. So, but everybody went to 3. 7-man team, 21 Claymores.
Wow.
And then I also started at night on the most likely avenue of approach coming into our remain overnight position. I would put out 7 Claymores, daisy chained. One click, 7 Claymores go off. 10.5 pounds of C4, 4,900 steel balls traveling at 4,000 feet a second. The blast, the steel balls would just shred whatever was out there. And if you were far enough back or happened to be behind a tree and survived, you would say, this guy's crazy. Nobody sets off all of their Claymores at one time. So now the survivors, we can go down and get them, and they start to come. That's when they run into 3 more daisy chained, and that goes off. So you catch them by surprise with that.
Wow.
And then they start running into Claymores on time fuses that are randomly going off as they're trying to come. And yeah, so in their dossier that they put together on me, it was, this guy's a nut. You don't go charging after his team because he's going to run into all those Claymores. And at night, you want those area-type weapons like the Claymores and those frag grenades. You can start chunking frag grenades at them. They don't know where they come from.
Yeah.
And they're just going off everywhere.
Man.
And then well, let me say, if you shoot at me, I'm going to shoot back. I really don't like people shooting at me. So I will shoot back. So I found I needed to carry more ammunition, and most guys were carrying, 800 rounds or so, or maybe 700, some 600. I went to 1,000. I carried 50 20-round magazines.
50 20-round mag.
And in my 20-round magazines, I put 20 rounds because I used brand new magazines every mission. I would draw new magazines, so everybody had new magazines. So they'd only been loaded for 3 or 4 days. So the springs were fine. They were working good. So I never in a firefight had my car 15 jam. Not from the number of rounds in the magazine. But, so my people had a lot of them. I didn't force them to put 20 if the 18 rule had been ingrained in them. But I encouraged them to put in 20. Because when you run up against the NVA, you're sitting there with a 20-round magazine for initial contact. The NVA's got a 30-round magazine. They've already got 10 more rounds than you do. You run out first, and then the firepower shifts totally over to them now.
Yeah.
So until we finally got the 30-round magazines, we were at a disadvantage every time as soon as we started. So you needed to be able to load faster and, shoot longer.
Man, I never thought about that 20-round magazine versus 30-round magazine.
It's a big difference.
Debacle. Yeah, yeah. How long did it take them to get you guys 30-round magazines?
We didn't get, I got there in 68. We didn't get the 30 rounds until 69. And when we first got them, they couldn't get many. So I could go draw one 30-round magazine per car 15.
Oh, man.
So we all have one, in our weapon to start with. That was after they made a tweak. I discovered early on, as did a lot of other people, that if you have that 30-round magazine in your car 15 and you jump off the skid of the helicopter, when you hit the ground, your gun got lighter all of a sudden because the magazine's laying down in the mud. Because the spring on the magazine retainer wasn't strong enough to hold that extra weight.
Wow.
So the shock of hitting the ground, the magazine would fall out. So we had to take the weapons back in, have the spring changed, to a stronger one, so the magazine would stay in there.
Jeez.
But at least you had a 30-round magazine to start with. But I guess my teams just had problems, discipline problems. Maybe it seemed that we lost our 30-round magazines almost every time we were in contact, and I'd have to go back to S4 and draw some more 30-round magazines to replace the ones we lost.
Wow.
And
What?
but then that somebody noticed one day, how are you guys getting so many 30-round magazines? You're only supposed to have one per gun. Your guys are all carrying more. Well, I guess they found some of the ones they lost. So
What kind of pistol were you carrying?
I tried different ones. I carried a 1911 .45 caliber pistol. It was heavy. It only held 7 rounds. But man, if you hit somebody with that, it would put them down. I mean, it hits hard. But then I changed to a Browning high power 9mm, because now I double the amount of ammunition, number of shots in there. So I played with those a little bit, and then I started carrying a high standard 22 caliber long rifle with an integrated silencer, because that thing was so quiet.
Little hush puppy, huh?
Yes. And, you got to be careful where you shoot them. 22, if it hits a vest or something, it's not going to penetrate. So I tried to go for softer spots like the temple. And I did a lot of practice and trying to get a guy, in particular a tracker. If you were tracking me, then I would tell this team, you guys keep going, I'm going to drop back. Somebody's behind us, I'm going to drop back here and have a little chat. So I could go back and take out a tracker. I could take out a dog. I could do things without, a big disturbance, and particularly at night.
Time is a funny thing. It's so limited, and yet we let it pass by us. We're all guilty of putting important things off until later. If you've been putting off life insurance, check out Fabric by Gerber Life. They make it fast and easy so you can check it off your list right now. Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance you can get done today. Made for busy parents like you, all online and on your schedule right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required. Fabric has partnered with Gerber Life, trusted by millions of families just like yours for over 50 years. There's no risk, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can cancel at any time. And they have over 1,900 five-star reviews on Trustpilot with a rating of excellent. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/srclips. That's meetfabric.com/srclips. MEET fabric.com/srclips. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
There were times when we had people walk inside our little perimeter. I mean, we're all within arm's reach of each other in a little circle, and sometimes you'd have somebody walk right through the middle of it. So you couldn't open up with a car 15 because it'd just light the whole area up. But with that 22, I could tap you, particularly if I set off a Claymore, made a little noise, shot you at the same time. Nobody'd ever know I took you out.
Wow. You had people inside the perimeter when you guys were at arm's length distance and you're only 6 to 9 people? How many times did that happen?
Several. And we can talk maybe in a little bit about where I had a longer experience of someone inside. That pretty cool.
Let's talk about it now.
I had 22-man team. We had put two of our recon teams together because we were going after a group of NVA that had a group of American prisoners that they were trying to take through Laos into North Vietnam, and we were trying to stop them. And we had stopped for an RON. We had 22 people, so it was a circle almost as big as this room in here, and they were about arm's length apart. I was in the center with my assistant team leader, and it was about 21:30. It was dark. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face, and I was really tired. My eyes were starting to roll back in my head. I was leaning against a tree, and I heard a twig break. And I opened my eyes, and I was thinking to myself, that sounded like a twig break inside the perimeter. And then I heard another one, and I realized someone was inside our perimeter and was coming directly toward me. I'm laying back. I have car 15 laying across my lap, and I can hear this person moving. And I knew all of our people knew the rule. Once you go down, you don't get back up at night. Anybody moving is a bad guy. And this guy's coming right toward me, and I was thinking, he's going to step on me. I slid my selector switch over the full auto, and I'm laying there, and he's coming, and the air's so thick. And at this point, I can mentally see a silhouette coming at me, although I can't really see the silhouette. I know where it is based on the sound, and now I'm starting to hear him breathe. I'm starting to hear his heartbeat because he realizes he's inside the perimeter and he's probably about to get killed. So his heart is thumping. He's coming right at me. I can't open up because that'll light the whole perimeter up and we'll be in trouble. So I couldn't get to my knife. So I decided just as he gets to me, I'm just going to shoot my left hand up. I'm going to grab a hold of his chest, whatever he's got there, and I'm going to pull him at the same time, raise my leg up and trip him. I'm going to pull him down to the ground. I'm going to hit him in the side of the head with the muzzle of my CAR-15 as I'm bringing him down. If he yells, if he fires his weapon, I'm going to pull the trigger. So he's coming. He got into position. I grabbed him. I jammed the muzzle into the side of his head, just cut a big gash in his head. I bring him down face first into the mud, and he didn't say a word, didn't make a sound. It scared him so bad, he didn't even grasp when I grabbed him. And then I started thinking, now what? I'm sitting here holding this guy face down in the mud. What am I going to do with him? And then I heard a whisper. And the whisper was, Trung Nguyen, he was lieutenant in Vietnamese. Lights, lights. What? And he said, lights, lights. And I looked up the ridge toward the top of the mountain, and you could see lights, lanterns coming down the mountain. About 400 people. If you counted one or two people in between each lantern, probably 400 people coming down the ridge line toward where we were. That's not good. We're on a ridge line like that. We picked it so people couldn't get around us, but they're coming straight at us. But then I turned and I looked down the ridge. There was that same number coming up the ridge. And they were going to come right to us. We were going to be right in the middle when they got there, about, estimated 800.
Whoa.
So then I realized the guy that I've got face down in the mud is the Vietnamese captain that we took on this mission with us. He didn't have the experience. He didn't realize it when he got up to come tell me there were lights coming, that I might shoot him, or somebody might shoot him or knife him. But anyway, he did call that to our attention. And so these guys are all coming at us. They're going to intersect right on us. So my RTO crawled over and said, "Sir, you're wanted on the radio." And I got the radio, and this was a KY 38 with the KY 28 manual code loader in it and all that stuff. You had to have that daily code set in this coder. You had to be on the right frequency. This was the highest security radio that you could manually carry around. But anyway, so I was talking, answered it, and it was Saigon. And they said, "You are now a Prairie fire emergency," meaning everything in that part of Southeast Asia now belongs to you. Everything, every asset that's within range of you, every asset that still has armament left is being diverted to you to try to get you out. And I'm looking up and down and saying, I can see how we are our Prairie fire emergency. So I copied that. I got my assistant team leader over and said, "Here's what's going on." And then the RTO says, "Sir, you got to hear this." And I said, "WTF, Schaefer? What? I've got 800 people coming. What else you going to tell me?" I picked up the radio, the handset, and there's a Vietnamese woman on the radio. There's no way that she can talk to this radio, but she's talking to this tactical radio, secure one. And she's reading our obituary.
What?
She's reading our obituary that we were all killed in action that night. She's reading name by name of everybody who's laying in that perimeter. And she reads my name. She reads off Dick Thompson and keeps going. The Saigon's monitoring, and they heard her read my name off as Dick Thompson, and they said, "Oh, okay, she made a mistake. She doesn't even know his name. Who is Dick Thompson? His name's Henry." No one at that point on that side of the world knew me by Dick Thompson except for Eldon Bargewell, later Major General Bargewell. And we'd been on the same team before. But somehow she knew my name that no one else knew. And as I'm listening to it, there's music in the background. Not just music, but I realized this is the same music that as a little kid at 12 o'clock every day at my grandmother's house, she would say things like, boys, quieten down. I need to hear the obituaries in the county. And there's a Southern kind of music that they played in the South when they would read obituaries, read about somebody that had died. And they're playing this in the background as they're reading our names off as being killed in action that day on a super encrypted radio that they couldn't possibly be talking on.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.